For those who are just tuning in right now, my name is Adrian. This is a Power Flow Smart class, and we're going to start about now. So once you have your blog or your book and your mat is ready, go ahead and start by coming to a tabletop position, bringing your hands in line with the shoulders, spreading the fingers as wide as they go, and we're going to start by doing a couple of rounds of what we call cat-cow stretch. So we use the inhale to arch the spine and lift your tailbone, and on the exhalation we round the spine and we draw the abdomen in. We use the inhale to lengthen the spine, to lift the tail up, inhaling, and exhaling to round the spine. So I want you to do a couple more of those on your own rhythm. And sometimes I like to point the toes, sometimes I like to tack the toes under, which is what I'm doing now. For those who are familiar with this type of movement, another thing that you can do, you can stand on the fingertips. This will bring a lot of attention to your hands, and it's going to help you to warm up the muscles on the palms, fingers, and wrists. Now, notice how every time that I'm exhaling, I'm consciously drawing the navel in. This is a good digestive massage, but it's also a good way to wake up your abdominal core. And at the same time, I'm pulling my knees towards my thumbs, and I'm tucking the chin under a little bit. Do it 2 more times in your own rhythm. With any of those variations, whether palms down or fingertips down. I'm going to do one more time. Now, from here, on the next exhalation, untuck the toes, press the palms down, and with an inhale, bring your left hand either to the left hip, or if it feels comfortable to reach your left arm up to the sky, go ahead. And now you're creating a line from your right hand to the left hand. Take one more deep breath. And with the exhalation, release your left hand back down, sweep south. So keep drawing the abdomen towards the spine. Turn your abdomen with you. Right arm up. Visualize a long line from left hand to right hand. Give it a deep, deep breath. And with the exhalation, release your right hand back down. Now, with the palms open and the index fingers pointing forward, slightly turn down. Keep that connection to the abdominal core, and we're going to do a progression of that. So it's going to increase the level of coordination, and it's hopefully going to help us to warm up a little quicker. How? By pressing down to the hands and lifting the knees a little bit off the ground, let's say a couple of inches. Not too much that your butt is sticking up and up and back like mine, but a little bit off the ground. Why? Because then we can arch the spine. We can use the inhale to open the chest forward, and the exhale to round the spine. And try to get the same suction feeling in the abdomen. See if you can do it 2 more times with me. Inhaling. There might be a little bit of shaking, and that's okay. Exhaling. Okay, do 1 more time. So no judgment, no expectations. We do what we can. Exhaling. And the next time that you're rounding, from that rounding, sit back towards your heels and push the ground away. It might be a good stretch for your feet. And now begin to uncurl the tail all the way up, so you find yourself in downward facing dog. And downward facing dog is like an inverted V position, and you see me already kind of moving my knees. It feels kind of nice to bend one knee at a time, move the neck around. And this is one of those postures that we do quite a lot in any type of dynamic type of yoga. So bend one knee at a time. It could be used as a resting posture, but if you're new to the practice or you haven't practiced in a while, even that downward dog might feel kind of intense. So if that's the case, feel free to come to a seated position, do any modifications. You can always come back to hands and knees. Okay, so don't feel like you have to hold every downward facing dog for the same duration that I do. So now that I'm up and back in my downward facing dog, highest point is my tail. I can look somewhere in between my big toes. And the breath is natural, it's rhythmic. And for some of you might be breathing in and out of the nose, for some of you might be mouth breath, whatever works, alright? So here's the first dynamic stretch that I'm going to work on. I'm going to inhale to bring the right foot outside of my right pinky finger, and at the same time I'm going to pull my right elbow back and open my chest to the sky. Now when the exhalation comes, I'm going to press the right hand down, and raising the right foot and stepping it back into downward dog. Let's see if we can do it together on the second side. So the left foot is going to take a giant step forward, and you might land outside of the mat, and it's okay. And instead of going for the straight arm, bend the left elbow, pull it back, turn your chest up. That's your inhale. Good. And with the exhalation, step it back, downward facing dog. Now see if you can do that 3 more times together, alright? So I'm synchronizing with my breath. Inhale to pull the right elbow back and up my chest. Exhale to step it back, downward facing dog. Inhale to step the left foot and turn my chest open and perhaps dropping the hips a little bit more. Exhale to step it back, downward dog. Okay, can you do it 2 times on your own? Go for it. If you feel like moving faster, inhale, exhale. Inhale, and some of you might lift the hand even before stepping the foot forward. That might be an option. And by the way, this is not necessarily a traditional yoga movement. It's one exercise that I do with some of my colleagues, they're trainers, and they like to do that at the beginning of a weight training session, lifting weight or mobility, stuff like that. But it goes really well with yoga. Alright, so from downward facing dog, walk the feet forward towards the front of your mat. Have your feet about hip distance apart. You're kind of hanging from the hips. And on the inhale, inhale to lengthen the spine so you can look more forward. And with the exhalation, fold over your legs. And on the next inhale, take it all the way up. Arms overhead, press down through your feet. Feel a connection, reach all the way up. Some of you might like to look up. And with the exhalation, bring the hands to the heart center. Now, what I want you to do before we go into a more dynamic flow, with the hands in front of the heart center, use this connection to clear the mind. So it's not only a physical practice, but it's a mental practice. For some of you might go even beyond that, might be a spiritual practice. All those elements kind of diffuse together as we move, alright? So they're going to be reminders, but I'm going to give you cues. They're not necessarily bodily oriented, but might be more related to your breath, might be more related to an internal type of practice, okay? So start at the very front edge of your mat. At the front edge of your mat, your feet could be wide, your feet could be together, and either way, bring the hands to the heart center, and as you look forward, inhale to reach this straight overhead, all the way up, big lift. And with the exhalation, hinge forward at the hips, release the hands down the legs, to the shins, to the floor, to the ankles, whatever they go. On the next inhale, lengthen the spine, a halfway lift. Here comes your first plank today. You're going to walk the feet back, top of a push-up, plank position. Once you're in a plank position, lengthen the spine forward, straighten the legs, give yourself a deep, deep breath. With the exhalation, only because it's the first one, you're going to make it simple. Put the knees down first, and then do a modification of a push-up. Lower maybe 1/3 or halfway, and then roll the hips forward and up. Roll your shoulders back and down, point your toes. We call this cobra or upper facing dog. Your cobra might look different than mine. Yours might be a little lower, and that's okay. If you feel like lifting your chest higher, you can do that. On the exhale, we all go back to a downward facing dog. So lead with your tail up and back. From a downward facing dog position, lift your heels high and place your right foot forward and in between your hands. With the right foot forward in between the hands, lower the back knee down to your mat and extend the arms overhead. That's an option. We call this low lunge Vinyasa. From Vinyasa, as I keep bending the front knee forward, I'm going to move my abdomen up and back. I'm going to reach my thumbs back in space. On the next exhalation, release the hands either to the floor for stability, or perhaps swing the arms back in space, or even interlacing fingers behind your back. So as you can see, I'm giving you different options. On the next inhale, some of us might like to walk the hands forward, so moving into runner's lunge. Others of us might swing the arms forward, back leg is going to straighten, and we'll go all the way up to the sky, and this became a high lunge position. Notice the tendency of overarching. If you're kind of on the bendy side, really flexible, do more core connection, alright? So every posture, especially standing on your feet, will help you to strengthen your core. On the exhalation, release your hands back down to your mat. Here's your second plank, top of a push-up, core strong, feet apart, with my lower with straight legs this time, and then press into an upper facing dog. What's the difference between upward dog and downward dog and cobra? That my knees are off the ground. You might not be able to see that on the screen, but I'm pushing down on my hand, so my knees are slightly off the ground. Downward dog, take it all the way up. Now, if there's no breath, please take a deep breath. Just know that my breath might sound a little short, because I'm talking as I'm moving, but for you, as much as you can, see if your breath can be smooth, rhythmic, and if it gets too short, because I'm moving too fast, you can obviously slow it down, alright? Don't feel that you have to move at the same pace that I am moving. From a downward facing dog position, lift the heels as high as they go. Now step the left foot forward, left foot in between your hands. With the left foot in between the hands, lower the back knee to the mat, take the arms overhead. This is your low lunge, Vinyasa. Look forward or look up. Some of you might like to look in between the hands. This is the first of 3 movements, I think. Second movement, 3 movements. Second movement, I can put the hands on the floor. This is a hamstring stretch. And you might sit back towards the heel and avoid round in the spine. Keep pulling your chest forward. Remember, if you tried earlier with me, you can interlace fingers behind your back and open your chest if you feel stable on the posture. If you don't, hands on the mat. Okay, third posture, with or without the hands. I bend the front knee. With or without the hands, I straighten the back leg. And now that I'm steady and strong on my legs, I undo the arms and I circle them all the way up into my high lunge position. If it bothers on your lower back, put a soft bend in the back knee. If it's okay on the back leg, straighten. Arms are reaching up and back, abdomen lifted. Give yourself a deep, deep breath. And with the exhalation, release your hands back down to your mat. Top of a push-up. Make a plank. Make a choice. You might lower halfway down, all the way down. Heart to the ceiling, upward facing dog. Exhale, send it back, downward facing dog position. From a downward facing dog position, lift the heels as high as they go. Bend the knees to look forward. I'm going to give you the option walking, stepping, or maybe this time as you anchor to the hands, you do a little hop, a little jump to the front of your mat. You might land with this soft. Inhale to lengthen the spine, a halfway lift. Exhale to fold over your legs. On the next inhale, take it all the way up, pass through the heart, big lift, reach up. You might do a back bend, you might look up, you might look forward. Options. And exhale, come back to the heart center. Good. Take a moment, release the arms. So that was one full round. And we have in that flow hip openers, shoulder openers, hamstring stretches, and balancing postures. We're going to do it again, okay? And I'm going to move a little bit faster, but if I move too fast, slow it down, it's going to be the same flow with maybe 1 or 2 additions in there. So at the front of your mat, always connected to the heart. Inhale, big lift, reach and open. Exhale to fold it, then you can bend the knees and touch down or ankles. Inhale to look forward, lead with the heart. Exhale, make a plank or jump back to plank, top of a push-up. If you're doing push-ups, you can put your knees down too. Inhale to open your chest, roll into the tops of your feet, up dog. Exhale, send it up and back, downward facing dog. So here's a new movement. I'm going to take the right foot up to the sky to bend the knee and open my hip. That's the inhale. Then with the exhalation, I'm going for the 3 movements that we tried earlier together. Right foot steps, back knee comes down. Here comes the first one of 3, all the way up. High, low lunge, under Vinyasa. Second one, interlace fingers behind the back, if that's an option, or touchdown. That's the hamstring stretch and the chest opener. Third one, I go all the way forward, back leg straightens, and only when I feel connected and stable, I reach out. Maybe the second time I look up at the space in between my hands. Exhale to touch down, make a plank. You know you can put your knees down, you know you can do it with straight legs. Some of you might like to add that one-legged push-up. That might work for some of us. Upward facing dog or cobra. Send it back, downward facing dog. Take the left foot up to the sky, bend the left knee, open the head. So as you can see, I'm not taking that many breaks. Exhale to step the left foot forward. Back knee comes down. I know that I have 3 postures that connect to the breath. 1 is the inhale, so feel the lungs, open your chest. 2, it's a hamstring stretch, perhaps with a shoulder opener. Modification could be hands on the floor. 3, the motion is forward. The strength comes from my legs. I go all the way up as I'm inhaling and I can look up to the sky or not. Release the hands back down, make a plank or one-legged plank, and you find the transition from high to low. Up dog if you're flowing, send it back to downward facing dog. I'm not going to take any breaking downward dog. Heels up, knees bent, eyes forward, step hop or jump forward. Lengthen out the front, halfway. Exhale, fold over your legs. Take it all the way up, pray overhead. Press down through your feet, reach out for the sky. Exhale, hands to the heart center. Can we do it one more time? I might add one new thing, just to keep things flowing and keep things different. Pray overhead, inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, take it all the way down. You can bend the knees to touch down. I'm going to add a squat position. Inhale, knees outside of the elbows. Exhale, come back to the forward fold. Inhale to lengthen the spine, a halfway lift. You can walk back, jump back, shoot it back if that's part of your practice. Now, leading with the heart, open into an upward facing dog or cobra. Send it back into downward facing dog position. Like we did earlier, right foot goes up, bend the knee, open the hip up in the air, and with the exhale, cross the right knee to the left elbow. I'm going to call this option 1, but some of you might take the foot outside of the mat, and the back heel is going to spin flat, so you can take your left arm up, and that's almost like a side plank. You could circle the arm forward like I'm doing here, so good side body stretch. Whatever you are, left hand down, back to downward facing dog. Now we go for the sequence that we know. Ready? Right foot steps, knee comes down, use your breath. Inhale, overhead. Exhale for your hamstring. Could be simple or interlacing fingers behind your back. Then on the next inhale, to standing, to a high lunge. And if you feel like exploring something different, interlace fingers behind your head, behind your back. Could be a back bend. Exhale to touch down, make a plank. Make a push-up, could be a one-legged push-up. So now you know your options. Upward facing dog or cobra pose. Send it back, downward facing dog. From a downward facing dog, send the left foot up to the sky, bend the knee in the air, take a deep breath. Exhale, cross it to the right elbow. You might stay here or cross the left foot to the right. Back heel flat. Right arm up to the ceiling. Or extend it to the front of the room. Give yourself a nice side stretch. Give it a deep breath. One side I feel tighter than the other. Come back to downward facing dog. Here we go for the final flow on this sequence. Left foot steps, knee to the ground. 1, overhead. This is good for my head. I'm bending the front knee. 2, I go for the hamstrings, shift the weight back. 3, I go all the way up into a high lunge, and I can explore different expressions. Try the same one that you tried on the first side. If you went behind your head, do it too. Give it a breath. Exhale, hands back to your mat. Could be one plank, one-legged plank. Could be a couple of push-ups. If you're feeling energized, if this is your workout for the day, you might do that too, right? We made a downward dog. And from your downward dog, bend one knee at a time. You should feel, hopefully, that you're kind of loosening up the back of the legs. And that's one of the great benefits of yoga. Come on high on the balls of your feet, bend the knees, look forward. Step hop or pike. Lengthen at the front, halfway. Exhale, fold over your legs. And take it all the way up. Pray over your head, big lift, maybe a back bend. And hands to the heart. Good. And release. So that was our flow one. It's a dynamic flow. So what I was saying is, this is good for you, for the body, because we're doing strengthening. And as we're doing strengthening, we're doing flexibility. And we combine both of those. And each of you might focus on a different aspect, but the practice is going to give you a well-rounded type of workout. So here comes flow 2. We're going to add new postures, more into the hips, and maybe a little bit of core, okay? So, starting at the front of your mat, go ahead and bend the knees, chair pose. Some of you might touch down, take it overhead. This is Utkatasana, chair pose. And with the exhale, fold over your legs, release your head back down. On the inhale, look forward, extend the heart, halfway lift. Maybe walking back to that plank, maybe stepping back, maybe jumping back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to roll the shoulders back, up, dog or cobra. And with your exhalation, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Now from the downward facing dog, I'm going to take the right foot out. We tried this earlier, bend the knee, open the head, that's the inhale. And with the exhale, how about if you cross the right knee to the left elbow, but don't extend the leg yet, the front one. Spin the back heel down on the floor, and as you shift all the way to the right hand, maybe take the left hand off the floor, and just for a moment, kick the right foot up in the air, and with your left hand, tap the right toes. You don't have to grab them or hold them. And then you go back to your one-legged dog, right foot up, and also bend the knee. Again, open the hip and heel. Step it all the way forward in between the hands. So as you can see, I'm adding more stuff into the sequence. You're going to come up into a high lunge, arms overhead, just because you tried earlier. And from your high lunge position, on the exhale, hands to the heart, and gracefully you're going to press that into the right foot so you can pick the left foot off the ground. So
So I'm going to give you a different angle. I'm facing the camera now. So you're picking the left knee, alright? And with the left knee lifted, with the left foot lifted, cross it over the left leg like a figure 4 and widen the left knee. So now that you're widening the left knee, there's more. You're going to exhale to imagine that you're sitting on a chair. Yes, we're looking for the butt stretch, for the glute stretch, and you might reach your arms forward as your hips move back, okay? So hang in there for a second. So you're in that hip stretch, hips are moving back, torso's moving forward, and from this hip stretch, bring the hands to the heart and undo the left leg and send it back, and you're in a warrior 3 position. So the left leg went back, the extended leg is a little bit soft and bent, your hands on prayer, and hopefully you're taking deep breaths, right? I'm not the only one. Give me one more breath, and from wherever you are, come back to a high lunge. So arms overhead, inhale, exhale to touch down, make a plank, top of a push-up, Chaturanga Dandasana. So leading with your heart, upward facing dog or cobra pose, send it back to downward facing dog position. From a downward facing dog, we're going for the left side, right? Left foot goes up, bend the knee, open the hip a little bit or a lot. You could stay here or bring the knee to the right elbow, turn the abdomen, back heel flat, and if it's okay to put all the weight on the left hand and tap the toes in the air for a moment, just for a second, you do that and then you go back to the hip opener. So that's a lot of core right there. Open the hip, up in the air, and step it all the way forward and in between your hands. With a foot in between the hands, you need to come up into a high lunge, arms overhead. Do you remember what's next? From a high lunge position, hands to the heart, you feel the left foot rooting down, you press to standing and you pick the right knee off the ground. As you pick the right knee with the exhale, cross the ankle over the thigh, like a figure 4, bend the bottom knee, and extend the arms forward. And imagine that you're being pulled into directions. Your hips are pulling back, your torso is pulling forward. And yes, we do want to get some of the stretch. Remember, this is a combination of strengthening, flexibility, mobility, core stability, lots of good stuff. Now, I'm sitting on that imaginary chair. I want to keep that feeling of being on that chair, so I keep bending my left leg, the base, and then with hands to the heart, I unwrap the right leg, I shoot it back, or I extend it back, and let me reframe so you can see my head, and I'm in warrior 3. I'm not going to hold it that long. Give yourself one more deep breath, and then on the next inhale, lift it up into a high lunge, arms overhead, big lift, reaching and opening, exhale to touch down, make a plank, top of a push-up, my lower halfway down, all the way down, move through your upper facing dog, take it back to downward dog and move it a little bit. Right, we're only going to do this sequence one more time, but chances are that now, almost halfway into the practice, you're pretty warmed up. Now, by the way, when you're sitting, stepping forward, stepping back off the mat, it's just to give you a better view. You're going to stay on your mat the whole time, right? I'm just doing it for the purpose of showing you different angles of the pose. So here we go, lift the heels high, inhale, bend the knees low, exhale, eyes forward, step, hop or pie. At the very front of your mat, lengthen, halfway lift, exhale, fold over your legs, release your ears down, start with your knees, bend the knees, chair, raise the arms, inhale, and from chair, fold over your legs, touch down or hold into the ankles. On an inhale, lengthen the spine, so separate the abdomen from your thigh bones. And on the exhale, walk or shoot it high, top of a push-up, chaturanga, and lower. Chest opens. Very important to roll the shoulders back so you're broadening the chest. Exhale, send it back into downward dog. One last time, ready? Right foot goes up, bend the knee in the air, open the hip. That's your inhale. Exhale, cross the knee, spin the back heel, tap the right toes. Once, moving on. Right foot up, open the hip, up in the air. Inhaling. Exhale, step the right foot forward in between your hands. You're going to come up into your high lunge. Inhale, you look forward. Exhale, you press to a one-legged pose. Inhale to squat down, reach your arms forward, reach your hips back. Exhale to warrior 3. So notice how I'm no longer holding the postures. Inhale, back to a high lunge. Some of you might look up, it depends how stable you feel. Exhale to touch down, plank, push-up, chaturanga, or 2 push-ups, or maybe no push-ups today. If you're getting tired, save some energy. Up dog, exhale, send it back, down dog. Left foot up, open the hip, in the air, inhale. Exhale, cross it to the right elbow, tap the left toes just for a moment, then send the back up, open the hip up in the air. Inhale, step the left foot forward, in between your hands. Come up into your high lunge, big lift, stabilize the posture, one-legged stand, pick the right knee, core strong. Inhale to squat down like a figure four. If I look at the camera, I lose balance, I'm going to look forward. And then from that extension, you're going to go right into warrior three. It could be hands on prayer, hands on knee, or blocks, or the floor by that way. Inhale, lift it up into a high lunge position, arms overhead. Exhale, touch down, plank, push-up, Chaturanga Dandasana, or if you have a lot of energy, let's do 5 push-ups. Why not? 5, 4, 3, 2, you know, do one more, 1, and let's do one more. So you lower Chaturanga, and then upward facing dog. And then back to downward dog, or take a break. In child's pose, which I'm doing now, or take a moment. I'm going to take a moment, get some water, towel break, or you might keep doing push-ups if you have a lot of energy. And also depends what time of the day you're watching this class, right? If it's a morning class, if it's the end of the day. So listen to your body, and most importantly, listening to your body, listen to your breath, because your breath will tell you how the body's feeling. If the breath is moving too fast, if the breath is moving too slow. Okay. So you know that for this class you need a block or a book, but what can be informal? It could be a towel. You have a large towel, you wrap it, so you have anything to squeeze in between your feet. So this is what I would like to do. I don't know if we did it last week for those who were in class last week, but let's try this. I'm gonna grab the block the long way, so it's a little thicker, and I'm gonna put it in between the soles of my, in between the inner arches of my feet. Let me see if you can see how it looks. That's my feet, and I'm squeezing the block. So the block is in front of me, my butt is down on the floor, I'm gonna lie on my back. And once I'm lying on my back, I took the feet up, I'm squeezing into the block, I'm pulling the toes down, and I'm pushing my heels up, so I'm getting almost like a little bit of a hamstring stretch. Here's the thing that most of the times when I see my students in class, they don't do. They don't pull the toes back. That's the key to activate your lower abdomen and your hip flexors. Does that make sense? So common misalignment is this. The block went away from you. To start, I want you to get familiar with that action, moving the block as far back as you can. That's the starting position, and now I'm going to add the hands behind the head and the lifting of the torso. From that in mind, with my chest lifted, I'm going to use the inhale to lower the block 1/3, halfway, or all the way down if it's comfortable in my lower back. And on the exhalation, I'm going to move the block as far back as it goes towards the wall behind me. And once it's there, by engaging the upper portion of my abdominal core, I'm going to lift up a little higher my torso. You're going to do that 4 times. So the inhale, the block is going to move down 1/3, halfway, all the way down. Squeeze the block to bring it back. Not only bring it back to 90-degree angle, past the 90-degree angle, and now lift from the upper body. I think you have 3 more. Inhale. And the breath might not be as smooth as if you were in relaxation. Exhale, past the 90-degree angle, lift your heart, not your chin necessarily. You're going to do it 2 more times. Inhale, and you can hear my voice breaking up a little bit. Exhale, squeeze the block, past the 90-degree angle, lift your heart. You might reach your arms forward. I'm going to do 1 more time. Any variations of these is fine. Inhale. And last one, exhale, past the 90-degree angle. Lift your torso, lift your heart, lift the block. Maybe shaking a little bit, and then hug the knees. Grab the block, feet down. You know what I do sometimes? I put the block behind my head, and I take a break. If that was very easy, add a couple more. I'm going to take a break, but you can add a couple more options. So that's enough core strengthening. Now I'm rolling my knees side to side. And I'm lengthening the sides of my body. Why are we doing core? Because we're doing core for stability, for strength, but also to support the digestive organs, and also to refine our posture. Okay, so once you're done with this, put the block aside. You can roll forward any way that you like to come forward, and let's meet back in a downward facing dog. I'm going to do a couple of standing postures now that we're warmed up. Get back to downward dog via push-up, plank, chaturanga, or just lift it up, downward dog, okay? From the downward facing dog, I'm going to step the right foot forward in between my hands, and I'm going straight into a warrior two position, open arms and open hips. So the reason why we call this practice smart vinyasa is because we do movements that anatomically respond well to the body. They're not movements that are too complicated. They're movements that are effective, that anyone can do them, and anyone can benefit from them. You see me lunging over the right leg. That's when I'm going to get my hips to open. I'm pressing the back foot, I'm opening arms, and I'm lifting my abdomen. So this is what we're going to do a couple of times. On the inhale, you're going to reverse it, so the front knee stays the same. The top arm reaches back. And that could be a simplified and very stable way of doing this. Many of you might like to add one more variation and reach the bottom arm in front of your abdomen forward. So you're no longer leaning into the back hand. I can still bend the front knee. Both arms are getting straighter and reaching in opposite directions. On the exhalation, you can put the right hand on the right knee or the right forearm on the right thigh as you extend the top arm forward. So now you're getting the stretch on the opposite side. If you like to make it more active, more fiery, reach your right arm to the back of the room. So you're not leaning on the thigh. Wherever you are, turn your chest up. Remember, you're bending the front knee, you're straightening the back leg. You're going to do this 2 more times. So you can hold into the back leg or just swing the bottom arm forward. On the exhalation, you can put the elbow, the knee, the hand on the knee, or reach the arm back. That's 2. I'm going to do 1 more time. So long inhale. To reverse, notice that I'm not coming out of the posture. I'm still bending the knee. I'm feeling a little bit of fire on my legs, which is good. The next time that I come to my warrior two, I straighten the leg. I turn the right toes in, hands to hips. And with my hands on the hips, I take a deep breath. Another deep breath. And with the exhalation, the hips are going to pull back. The hands are going to come down to the mid-thighs. And that might be it. If you're taking care of the lower back, if you had any surgery in the lower back, there's no need to go deeper. And you can bend the knees a little bit like I'm doing here. If back okay, if knees okay, and you feel like you can go lower, you go lower. You release the hands forward. And you can do almost like downward dog. Does that make sense? And you can let the head go. A couple of things. Notice that my feet are still on the mat. I don't want you to walk the hands forward and outside of your mat. I'm not putting weight on my hands. This is not a plank. It's more like downward dog. I'm pulling my hips back. And from that downward facing dog, couple of ideas. Stay there if it feels good. Or cross the left hand under the right armpit and reach for your right ankle and pull into the right ankle to look under the right armpit to the sky. If that was too complicated, just take a look. See how he looks? It's a twist. And I'm pulling into the right ankle to look up. And do it on the other side. Left hand comes outside of the mat. Right hand reaches for the left ankle and you turn. So use the grip of the right hand to the left leg to turn your belly up. Push into the throat with the left hand. Give it a breath. And come back. Alright, and from here, walk the hands closer to you. Shift 99% of the way to your feet. Bend the knees a little bit. You have no more weight on the hands. Legs on the spine. Turn your abdomen. Put the hands in the hips. Come up all the way up to standing, straighten the legs at the very top, open it into a warrior two at the front, and from warrior two, leading with the back arm, put your hands back down on the mat, make a plank, the option of a push-up, one-legged push-up, couple of push-ups, and if you're done with push-ups, guess what? You don't have to do any push-ups. And we're kneeling down, facing dog, stretch the whole thing back. Now, from a down facing dog position, I'm going to switch sides so I can actually face you, but you stay right where you are, okay? From a downward facing dog position, go ahead and step the left foot forward in between the hands. And with the left foot forward in between the hands, you're going to open arms into a warrior two. So once you're in your warrior two, remember, it's all about finding a good angle on the front knee. It could be a 90-degree angle. Your knee will tend to turn in, widen the knee towards to the left. Open the arms, lift your abdomen so everything is connected. With the next inhale, I'm going to reverse the warrior, and I can look down, sideways or forward. And some of you might like to extend the bottom arm forward. That's going to make it more intense. On the exhalation, you can put the hand on the knee, the forearm on the thigh, as you extend the other arm forward, or reach the bottom arm in opposite direction. Guess what? You're still bending the knee. Can you do it 2 more times? inhale, you know your options. Extend both elbows for those who are doing the last variation. And even extend both of your elbows when you're leaning forward. You're not leaning, you're regulating the movement. Let's do this one more time. Use your inhale to extend the arms. We're strengthening the core, side body, back of the body, front of the body, back leg strong. And the next time that I come back to my warrior two, from my warrior two position, I'm going to straighten the left leg and turn the left toes in. Now, instead of doing the straddle, since we're ready to do it, what I have in mind is that you turn your heels in. I'm going to do it with you. Point the toes out and you squat down a little bit. And you put your hands on the knees like I'm doing right here. And as you put the hands on the knees, bend the elbows out. And as you bend the elbows out, move the hips side to side. Move the hips side to side, spread the toes. And yes, it could be kind of a resting posture, or it could be a more active posture if you push the knees out. And by active posture, it means that you are finding the perfect combination within the strengthening, because holding the posture, just already if you're bending the knees at this level, you're engaging the back of the body. But also you're opening the front of the body. So if you haven't yet to the frontal inner thigh stretch, see if you can investigate or explore some more. How? You can stay right where you are. Sometimes I need to shorten my stance to put the elbows into the thighs. And for me, I particularly like to move. I find myself that when I lock myself into a posture, I get too much in my head, I get distracted, I get bored, and I like to give you the option to always move. Now, regulate your breath, because if you're starting to feel sensations on the body, chances are that you're starting to get distracted or your mind kicks in. But when you listen to your breath and you regulate the breath, here's what the other benefits of the practice are. Tapping into your nervous system, slowing down the nervous system, being less reactive, and hopefully starting to unlock some of the deeper benefits of the practice. Now, you see me going a little lower. Maybe I can lean into one side and the opposite foot can lift up. We call this Skandasana. And you can lift the bottom heel, you can stay on the heel with one leg, and you can do that a couple of times. And the good thing about doing this is that we're opening both sides of the hips. One with flexion of the knee, one with extension of the leg. I'm going to do one more time on each side. Okay. And the next time that you pass through center, find that straddle position. So yes, turn the toes in, lengthen the spine, firm through the legs. If that's an option, lift through your butt bones, lift through your chest, lift your ears a little higher than your shoulders, stand on the fingertips, and now suck the legs towards each other, bring the abdomen to the spine, lean back into the heels, put the hands into the hips, and use the strength of your legs and the pressing of your feet to lift you all the way up to standing. And now leaning with the left foot, open into warrior two. And from your warrior two, leaning with the back arm, raise the right arm to the sky, put your hands back down on your mat, make a plank, top of a push-up, make a choice, chaturanga, upper facing dog, downward facing dog. See what's happening in downward dog. You've been doing a couple of postures there. So downward facing dog should feel good. Lengthen the arms and lengthen the legs. Now, from your downward facing dog, I'm going to ask you to walk the feet towards the hands. Let's do one last balancing posture if it's okay with you. You're going to roll out to standing. And if you need a quick break, take a quick break, alright? This is a live class. I don't think you can pause it, but you can catch up. I'm not moving too fast. So what I would like to do is one standing posture that has a hamstring stretch, it has coordination, has core on it, a lot of stability. So it looks something like this, and I'm facing you. So the left foot is going to stay on the mat, and you can pick the right knee and hug the right knee to your chest. And I'm going to give you a different angle. So it looks simple, but guess what? For a lot of people, including myself, balancing in one foot, it's not that easy. So you can look to a point on the floor, you can look straight ahead, You can flex the foot that you're lifting or point the toes. As we get older, as we mature, then balance is one of the first things that starts to get compromised. So I always like to do a balancing posture in my class, even if it's as simple as this one. If this is too simple and you can easily hold it, then go ahead and bring the foot to the left inner groin, and this becomes tree pose. But just know that at any moment you can come back to the first stage that I showed you. My right toes are pointing down to the left heel, my left toes are pointing forward, could be gaze down, could be gaze forward, gaze to the horizon. I could stay right here for a few moments. I could bring my hands on prayer. And I know that the practice tends to be really postural. And by that I mean we tend to focus so much in alignment. There's nothing special about this shape if you're not connected to your breath. There's nothing unique and transcendental about the shape of my body right now or your body if it's not connected to your breath. If you're not working and slowing down, if you're not regulating your thoughts. And as I'm doing this little talk, which is part of the yoga philosophy, you're holding the posture, so your body is getting stronger, and probably you're also feeling the body. Now, after spending a few times in tree pose, I'm going to give you the option of pointing the right knee forward, so the foot comes off the thigh, and you might go back to option 1, remember? And if option 1 feels comfortable, and we can hold this for a couple more breaths, with the left hand, hold the outside of the knee so you can turn and twist. And you might not be able to look sideways, you might have to look forward the whole time. It's okay. Important that you're not leaning back, right? You're turning from your abdomen. If you want to free the right arm and extend the back, do it. If you've done yoga before and you've done a couple of these postures, yes, you can straighten the right leg and turn and twist this way. But guess what? Even at the simple stage of the posture that I'm doing, we're turning, we're twisting. Give it one more breath. And from wherever you are, as much as you can without losing balance, I just lost mine, release the right foot down and shake the arms and shake your legs. And the leg that you were balancing on, the left one, you can circle the foot at the ankle a few times or shake the left leg, okay? So now you know what's next. You're gonna keep the right foot down and you're gonna hug the left knee in. We could spend a lot of time talking about balance and how the placement of your right foot and the way you distribute the weight for today, since it's not a practice based on balance. Just make sure that you're pressing evenly through the mount of the big toe, pinky toe, inner heel, right heel, and that you're not just holding the weight of your leg, you're lifting the knee. You see, very common to lose balance. I lost my balance. And you're pushing down to the right foot to stand tall, so lift your chest to the shoulders. And that might be as far as you go today. Notice if your breath is getting compromised. Notice if your shoulders are getting tense. See if you can find a point of stillness. If you find that point of stillness and it feels comfortable, right from there you're going to progress into part 2. Move it to part 2, which is tree pose. It's a beautiful posture to do for balance. And you're widening the left knee and you're lifting through the abdomen, you're rolling your shoulders back, hands could be in heart, hands could be in prayer. And many times we need to look to a point on the floor. Many times we look straight forward. Wherever you are, stay connected. Connected to the breath. If you're new to yoga, it could be kind of shocking sometimes, the fact that we do slow down a lot. And from the outside, it might seem that we're not doing much. But a lot of the work that we do is internal. And that's the beauty of the practice. So, as I mentioned to you earlier, you might stay right here a little longer. Or perhaps you're going to point the left knee forward and you might stay in option 1. If it's burning too much on the bottom leg, on the right foot, the one that you're standing on, of course you might need to take a break. But if you're hugging the left knee and you can lift your abdomen, you can lift your chest and hold it a little longer, then I'm going to offer you to wrap the right hand outside of the left knee, to turn your abdomen, to turn your digestive organs, without a point that you stop breathing, but just noticing that there's a movement of muscle, of fascia. And you might look sideways, you might extend the bottom arm, or keep the hand on the hip. If you never tried this before, you might need to look forward the whole time. And of course, a more, I guess, traditional way of doing this, or something that a lot of your teachers might offer you, is to extend the left leg. You can do that. I'm kind of loosening up the bottom knee. That takes some of the pressure on my left leg. Of course, I can look sideways, I can look back, but the most important thing that I'm doing, I'm not judging. I'm not analyzing every single movement, I'm just feeling, I'm making changes, I'm taking deep breaths. One more breath, encourage the twist from your abdomen. And see if before you put the foot down, you can actually come back to option one. So there's a moment of stabilizing, a moment that is a pause, and from that pause, a gentle release. Okay? And from that release, go ahead and shake the leg a little bit, the one that you're standing on. And then when the feeling goes away, it feels more even, come back to the front of the mat, bring the feet together, bring the hands on prayer, take the straight overhead on the inhale, big lift, reach up. And with the exhalation, fall forward, see if it feels any different, bend the knees, touch down, let the head go. So I would like you to stay longer in the forward fold, and I'm going to give you the reason why. Now that you did a couple of standing postures, you can release the head, and the forward fold tends to be very restorative and energizing. So in this forward fold, you can hold into the back of the legs and hide yourself into the pose. You can hold opposite biceps, which is what I'm doing here, and let your body to move. So yeah, it's okay if you take a peek, if you look at what I'm doing, but once you bend in the knees and your head is low, just move side to side. Just move your body and allow your head to release, and each of us is going to release the head to a different point, because we all hold different tensions along the spine, the neck, life, stress. But for the most part, being on the forward fold tends to be very soothing for the brain, because you bring a lot of circulation, oxygen. I'm going to ask you to release the hands down and see if you can walk the hands to one side. You pick which one, whether left or right. And so your torso is turning to one side, but your legs are staying the same. If you tend to squeeze the toes, spread them. And then walk the hands the other way. Make room if you have a prop or bottle of water. And so you're turning your abdomen to one side, but the legs, as much as you can, are pointing forward. And hopefully you're getting a side stretch. Then you're going to come back to center. And the last thing that I'm going to offer you to do here, also part of a forward fold, I can use my peace fingers to hold my big toes from the inside. And on the inhale, I can lengthen the spine, and if it's available, I might straighten the legs as I lift my chest as high as it goes. And then with the exhalation, with the soft bend of the knees, I pull the elbows apart, and as I press the big toes down, my hands are doing the opposite action. They're trying to lift the big toes. But because I'm pushing the big toes, I have these oppositional forces that helps me to create a little more tension around my core. If this got too complicated, guess what? There's always a simplified way. You might hold the back of the legs, you might wrap your arms, you can hold the wrist, opposite wrist. You can squeeze into your calf muscles as you roll your shoulders up and back. Give it one more breath, just a standing forward fold. And from your standing forward fold, you're going to put your butt down, all the way down. So you might need to walk the hands back. Okay, and you're on the floor. And stretch your legs in front of you. And with the legs in front of you, shake them a little bit. And what I want you to do is to lie on your back. And once you're on your back, hide your right knee to your chest. Interlace fingers around the right knee. Open the hip a little or a lot. And since we did a couple of hamstring stretches earlier, you might interlace fingers around the right hamstring. That's what you see me doing. If it's okay to curl the head, neck, and shoulders off the mat, please do. If things are going well, walk the hands up the right leg, eventually perhaps holding around the heel. It's not my head coming up only, it's my core engaging. Now, as you can see, I have a good grip on my right leg, guess what? Instead of pulling my leg towards the back of the room, towards my head, I'm going to let the leg to push forward so I can lift my torso. Does that make sense? I'm pushing the leg forward to lift my torso. Now I keep that action of the leg pushing forward, and with my hands I try to engage my core to lift a little bit higher. If that was too complicated in terminology, think about your leg kicking forward, think about your hands resisting, and use your abdomen to get your chest a little higher and off the ground. Reach your right leg to the sky, give it one more breath, push your other leg down, and then slowly release heavily into your chest. If too much tension went to your neck, move your neck around. And now go ahead and bring the left knee in, let go of the right leg. Notice how the yoga class, whether if it's a power flow or slow flow, has a rhythm. So we start kind of slowly, we get into a flow, and then we always come down. Doesn't matter how high you go into the flow, you always want to come down. So I'm starting with a hamstring stretch, very basic. Simple. Basic is good, basic is effective, supported. But I could also curl the head, neck, and shoulders. Use the abdomen to lift the torso. Walk my hands towards my left calf or past the calf towards the heel. And that might be it. If I feel too much pressure that my whole leg is shaking, that's too much, right? So I can stay right here, I can widen the elbows, and I can use the left leg, the one that I'm holding, to push forward and lift my torso towards the leg. Shoulders are down, chin slightly off the chest, off the throat. And what I'm working on now is using the pressing of the leg forward and the opposite action of bringing the leg in through my hands to lift and fire out my abdomen. Why? Because I do want to have core awareness. I'm not talking about six-pack, I'm not talking about shapes, aesthetics, I'm talking about connection to the center of your body, where digestion happens, your second brain. Take one more breath, and then the left knee to your chest. And move your neck around, move your jaws, move your feet. I'm going to hack both of my knees in. I'm going to roll the knees to the right side. Make sure you have enough space. And look over the left shoulder. And see if you can count 5 of your breaths. And I know that this tends to be the time of the practice where your mind kicks in, all the activities that you have in the day, responsibilities, meetings, or anything that happened earlier. You know, your mind goes to the past or goes to the future. So we always try to bring the mind to what we're doing right here. So hopefully I can keep you for the next few moments connected with the class and with the breath. So that should be about 5 breaths. Slowly come back to center. And roll the knees to the left side. Look over the right shoulder. And if you're starting to feel sensations, that's a good thing, right? Sometimes the mind analyzes too much. Oh, this is too much, this is too strong. But how about if we change the thought? Oh, this is great, I can feel my body, I'm working on my body. I can slow down. This is time that I'm not spending on my computer. It is time that you're spending on your phone though, but it's a good way of spending time on your phone. I'm a big fan of technology when it's used for a good cause, like this. So that should be about 5 breaths. Then from those 5 breaths, I'm going to ask you to roll to the left side, since you already have the knees to the left, and find your way to a comfortable seated position. And from a seated position, if it's okay with you, we're going to finish the practice by coming to a seated position. You can sit on your block, you can cross your legs any way that feels comfortable to you. And I'm going to do a breath exercise. And this breath exercise consists in moving the breath through the nostrils, using your thumb and your index to cover one nostril. So I explain it to you as we go. So on your right hand, you're going to use 2 fingers only, the right thumb and the right index finger. So what I would like you to do is to cover the right nostril gently, okay? Don't change the shape of the nose by pushing too hard, but gently close with the thumb, the right nostril, and inhale
to the left. Now close the left nostril with your index finger and exhale out of the right. And then from here, inhale out of the right, close the right, exhale out of the left. Inhale from your left, close the left, exhale out of the right. Inhale through the right nostril, close it with the thumb, exhale out of the left. Inhale left, close it, exhale right. Inhale right, exhale left. Inhale left, exhale right. Do one more time on your own. Then release the hand down, roll your shoulders back, lift your chest, and let go of the left and right idea and just breathe deeply through both nostrils. And hopefully a short segment of breath help us also to create more stability in our minds, more balance in our thoughts, in our feelings. If your eyes are closed, gently open your eyes. And if you're practicing at home and you happen to have the extra time, and you can lie on your back and take at least 5 minutes of relaxation, do that. Or if you like to stay seated and take a few moments of contemplation. You don't have to be an expert in meditation, but take time for yourself. Or if you need to get going with your day, go for it. Hopefully the practice was enough, a well-rounded physical, mental, emotional practice. Thank you so much for practicing with me. My name is Adrian. Namaste. And if you are on Instagram, you can look for me at Adrian Molina Official. And if you have any questions, send any questions, and I hope you take class again. Have a nice day, everyone. Take care.